Stop taking deep breaths. Stop trying to visualize a calm ocean. Stop downloading meditation apps that charge you $20 a month to listen to wind chimes. Stop buying into the absolute scam that you can cure your anxiety by simply thinking happy thoughts or drinking the right herbal tea. Society tells you that your anxiety is a disease you need to coddle. They tell you that you need to find a safe space. They tell you to avoid your triggers, to retreat from the world, and to protect your delicate energy. They sell you weighted blankets, stress balls, and courses on how to politely excuse yourself from difficult conversations. It is all garbage. And you know it is garbage because you have tried it all, and you are still terrified. You have done the breathing exercises. You have written in the gratitude journals. You have repeated the positive affirmations in the mirror until you felt completely ridiculous. And yet, the moment real pressure hits your life, all of that fragile, artificial calm vanishes in a millisecond. You know exactly how this feels. You are lying in bed at 3 in the morning, staring at the dark ceiling. The entire house is silent, but your mind is screaming. You are running through a terrifying, endless checklist of everything that could possibly go wrong tomorrow. Your chest feels like it is wrapped in heavy iron chains. Your stomach is tied in cold, tight knots. You feel a hot flush of adrenaline crawling up your neck. You feel an overwhelming, suffocating sense of impending doom. And the worst part is, you look around the room, and there is no actual danger. There is no predator in your bedroom. There is no physical threat. You are completely, perfectly safe in that exact moment. But your body is reacting as if you are standing on the edge of a cliff, about to fall to your death. You feel broken. You feel like your own brain has turned against you. You watch other people go about their days, handling stress, answering emails, dealing with conflict, and you wonder what is fundamentally wrong with you. You wonder why you are so weak, so fragile, so easily paralyzed by the simplest tasks. Listen to me very carefully. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are simply using the wrong operating system to navigate a chaotic world. Modern psychology treats your anxiety like an invader that must be gently escorted out of the building. Modern self-help treats your fear like a mistake that needs to be erased with toxic positivity. This entire industry is a multi-billion-dollar scam designed to keep you afraid. Because a fearful person is a profitable person. A fearful person will buy another book, download another app, and pay for another decade of therapy to talk about their childhood. If you are finally tired of being lied to, and you are ready for the raw, brutal, ancient truth about human psychology, hit that subscribe button right now. We do not do comfort here. We build reality. Now, let us talk about the reality of true, terrifying internal power. Let us look at men who did not have weighted blankets or safe spaces. Men who lived in a world where a single mistake could result in execution, exile, or death by plague. The Stoics. Let us look at Lucius Annaeus Seneca. He was not a modern guru recording podcasts in a temperature-controlled studio. Seneca was a statesman, a philosopher, and the primary advisor to the Emperor Nero. Nero was a violent, unpredictable, absolute psychopath. He was a man who murdered his own mother. He murdered his own wife. Seneca woke up every single morning knowing that with one wrong word, one slight misstep, the emperor could order his immediate execution. He lived with a literal sword hanging by a thread over his neck, 24 hours a day, for years. Do you think Seneca managed this stress by journaling his feelings? Do you think he survived the court of a madman by repeating the mantra, "Everything is going to be okay"? No. He survived, and he thrived, because he possessed an unbreakable mind. He did not use willpower to fight off his anxiety. He used a specific, 2,000-year-old psychological trick to completely short-circuit the mechanism of fear itself. He did not try to calm down. He changed the fundamental relationship between his identity and his future. This is not about trying to be brave. It is about realizing that your current definition of anxiety is completely backwards. The Stoics understood that the mind is a fortress, and anxiety is the act of leaving the gates wide open while you stare into the dark woods, imagining monsters. And they built their immunity to panic on three specific, contrarian pillars. Three brutal paradigm shifts that instantly destroy the modern illusion of fear and forge absolute, ironclad resilience. The first paradigm shift is the assassination of the positive visualization. Modern society tells you to manifest your success. They tell you to visualize the perfect outcome. Imagine the promotion. Imagine the perfect relationship. Imagine the successful business. They tell you that if you focus entirely on the best-case scenario, the universe will deliver it to you. This is the single most toxic, dangerous habit you can possibly adopt. Because when you only visualize the perfect outcome, you make your mind incredibly fragile. You set an expectation. And reality is chaotic, indifferent, and violently unpredictable. Reality does not care about your vision board. When reality inevitably deviates from your perfect fantasy, your brain interprets it as a massive, catastrophic threat. Your brain panics. Because it was not prepared for the resistance. It was not prepared for the rejection, the failure, or the betrayal. Seneca and the Stoics practiced the exact opposite of this modern nonsense. They practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of evils. They did not visualize success. They intensely, vividly, and ruthlessly visualized total catastrophe. Seneca advised his students to set aside time every single day to actively imagine losing everything they loved. Imagine losing your job. Imagine your house burning to the ground. Imagine your reputation being completely destroyed. Imagine the sudden death of your closest friends. Modern therapists would call this catastrophic thinking. They would tell you this is exactly what causes anxiety. They are completely wrong. Anxiety is caused by the fear of the unknown. It is the fear of the monster hiding in the shadows. When you practice premeditatio malorum, you are turning a massive spotlight onto the monster. You are dragging the absolute worst-case scenario out of the shadows and forcing your brain to look directly at it. And a fascinating biological phenomenon happens when you do this. When you force yourself to look at the absolute worst possible outcome, the monster shrinks. You realize that even if you lose your job, you will not die. You will find another one. You realize that even if you lose all your money, you can rebuild. You have survived difficult things before. You realize that even if you are publicly humiliated, the opinions of strangers cannot actually harm your physical body or your internal character. You strip the fear of its power by making the unknown completely known. You take the chaotic, terrifying future and you drag it into the present moment where you can analyze it with cold, hard logic. Stop trying to pretend that bad things will not happen to you. They will. The economy will crash. People will lie to you. Plans will fail. The weak man prays for a life without hardship, and when hardship arrives, he is destroyed by his own panic. The unbreakable man actively visualizes the hardship before it arrives. He walks through the fire in his mind 1,000 times. So when the real fire finally breaks out, his heart rate does not even spike. He has already been there. He has already survived it. He simply executes the plan. The second paradigm shift is the brutal severing of the timeline. I want you to think very carefully about your anxiety. Analyze the actual content of your racing thoughts at 3 in the morning. Are you ever anxious about the present moment? Are you anxious about the exact physical second you are currently experiencing? No. You are lying in a soft bed. You are breathing oxygen. You are physically safe. There is zero danger in the present tense. 100% of your anxiety is based on a hallucination of the future. You are suffering for an event that has not happened, and statistically, will probably never happen. Seneca wrote the definitive cure for this exact condition. He wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Read that again. Let it sink into your bones. You are choosing to suffer twice. You are choosing to experience the pain of a failure that does not exist yet. Anxiety is a time travel disease. It is your mind abandoning the reality of the present moment to fight imaginary ghosts in a future that is entirely outside of your control. This is a profound waste of your biological energy. When you are anxious, you are acting like a lunatic swinging a sword at empty air, exhausting yourself before the battle has even begun. The Stoic trick to instantly curing this is to brutally sever the timeline. You must violently drag your mind back to the exact physical space you are occupying. You must amputate the future. When the panic starts to rise, when the chest gets tight, you do not try to solve the imaginary problem. You simply ask yourself one question: what is actually happening to me right now, in this exact second? The answer is always the same. Nothing. You are sitting in a chair. You are breathing. You are alive. Everything else is a poorly directed movie playing inside your own head. You are the director, the actor, and the terrified audience of your own mental fiction. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself to stop letting the future disturb him. He wrote, "You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Think about the sheer, undeniable arrogance of anxiety. You are assuming that your future self will be completely incompetent. You are assuming that when the disaster finally strikes, you will suddenly forget how to survive. You have survived 100% of your bad days. You have navigated every single crisis, every heartbreak, and every failure that has ever been thrown at you. You have a track record of absolute survival. And yet, you disrespect your own resilience by assuming you will crumble tomorrow. Stop disrespecting yourself. Stop abandoning the present moment. The future does not belong to you. It belongs to fate. The only territory you own, the only battlefield you can actually control, is the exact second you are standing in right now. Defend the present moment with ruthless aggression. Let the future burn. When it arrives, you will handle it. Until then, it is irrelevant. The third and final paradigm shift is the radical adoption of Amor Fati. This is the ultimate, terrifying leap that separates the weak from the truly invincible. Most people use coping mechanisms to simply tolerate their anxiety. They want to manage it. They want to survive it. They view the obstacles in their life as unfair punishments. They walk around with a deep, hidden resentment toward the universe, constantly asking, "Why is this happening to me?" This victim mentality is the fertile soil where anxiety grows out of control. If you believe the world is attacking you, you will always live in a state of defensive terror. The Stoics did not tolerate the chaos of the world. They did not just accept their fate. They actively, aggressively loved it. This concept is called Amor Fati. The love of fate. It is the ultimate psychological weapon. It is the realization that every single obstacle, every piece of bad news, every moment of extreme pressure, is not a punishment. It is a necessary requirement for your own evolution. You cannot forge a legendary sword without putting it into the hottest fire and smashing it with a heavy hammer. Your anxiety is the feeling of the hammer hitting the steel. The weak man feels the hammer and cries for the blacksmith to stop. He wants to stay soft, unformed, and comfortable. The unbreakable man feels the hammer and demands more heat. He understands that the obstacle is not blocking his path. The obstacle is the path. When you lose your job, Amor Fati dictates that you do not panic. You say, "Good. I was getting complacent. The universe is forcing me to upgrade my skills and find a better path." When a relationship ends, you do not spiral into despair. You say, "Good. This person was not meant for my future. I am free to rebuild." When you feel that familiar surge of anxiety in your chest, you do not run from it. You lean into it. You say, "Good. This is my nervous system testing me. This is my opportunity to practice courage." You shift your entire identity. You stop being a fragile victim trying to hide from the storm. You become the type of person who walks outside, looks up at the dark clouds, and smiles at the lightning. Because you know that the storm cannot break you. It can only wash away your weakness. You must understand that the desire to be perfectly calm, perfectly safe, and perfectly comfortable is a toxic delusion. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is a slow, quiet death. Anxiety is just raw, unrefined energy. It is your body preparing for battle. The problem is not the energy. The problem is that you are terrified of the battle. You have been conditioned to believe that a fast heartbeat means you are dying. A fast heartbeat means you are alive. It means you are facing something that actually matters. Stop trying to turn off the engine. Learn how to grab the steering wheel. The Stoics conquered the known world because they conquered their own perceptions. They realized that you cannot control the emperor. You cannot control the plague. You cannot control the economy or the opinions of fools. But you have absolute, dictatorial control over how you judge the event. The event is neutral. Your panic is a choice. You are choosing to interpret a rapid heartbeat as a panic attack, rather than excitement. You are choosing to interpret an uncertain future as a guaranteed disaster, rather than an open landscape of possibility. You are choosing to be a slave to your own imagination. It is time to break the chains. It is time to stop negotiating with the terrorist inside your own mind. You have the exact same hardware as Seneca. You have the exact same capacity for rational, cold, calculated logic. The only difference is the software you are choosing to run. Will you continue to run the glitchy, fragile program of modern victimhood? Will you continue to let a hallucination of tomorrow ruin the reality of today? Or will you install the ironclad operating system of the Stoics? Will you actively drag your fears into the light, sever your attachment to the future, and aggressively love the heavy burdens of your fate? The choice is yours alone. No therapist can make this choice for you. No pill can force you to be brave. No amount of deep breathing can save you from a mind that refuses to face reality. The chaos of the world will continue to roar. The pressure will never stop. The fire will always be hot. Stop praying for the fire to go out. Just become entirely fireproof.